Hi, we are continuing on with the homework from week 6. It's out in Connect, so you can find it out there. We moved on to chapter 12, and we're going to talk about the third homework problem in the week 6 set. All right, so and this, of course, is an optional homework. It's just to help you learn. There's no points associated with it at all. So this next homework is from chapter 12, and let's see here. It's the equivalent of doing exercise 12-1. So exercise 12-1 is about a balanced scorecard measures. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you my screen, and we'll go out and look at this balanced scorecard problem. Okay, so here we are. So it's got this little grid, and it has a list of items, and it's got the 4 balanced scorecard measure areas, right? Example, and so it's gives an example of the areas, and I think most of these, I don't think all of them, but most, it's just trying to see if you understand like what makes something a learning and growth, what makes something an internal business process measure, right? So that you're measuring all across the spectrum of outcomes for your organization and not just financial metrics, right? But financial metrics are important, don't get me wrong. I like them as much as anybody who teaches accounting. So these examples of these performance measures, there's actually exhibits that actually list most of these. So on page 538, there's the examples of learning and growth, and 539 has internal business processes, and 540 has the customers and the financial measures. Of course, these examples in your textbook are not exhaustive. I mean, right? So what your organization might come up with might be very different than what's going on. All right, so well, let's just look at these. So to give you an example, you put a little, you say, okay, which one of these columns would employee absenteeism rate go? Well, that's a learning and growth. And if I look on exhibit 2-12 from page 538, there it right is, absenteeism rate. So yes, so I can pick that. Okay, sales from new customers. Okay, so when I look at the sales examples of financial measures, sales from new customers is a financial measure, and again, sales revenue, those are financial, right? Customer metrics, right? Because just because it's sales from a new customer doesn't mean it's not a financial metric. It's still a sales metric. What makes it a sales metric is we're measuring sales. What would make something a customer metric would be examples that measure customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, things related to growing our customer base, not measuring our sales per customer or something like that, right? Sales per something, that's a financial metric. Sales per square foot of store space, sales per new customer, right? Those kind of things would be financial measures. All right, so that's kind of the distinction, is like the customer metrics are like, how happy are our customers? Do they like us? Are they you know, loyal? Do they think they're getting good value? Things like that. Are we keeping our customers, right? So measures that are a function of, but that are basically a financial measure, but are a function of new customers, previous customers, employees, sales per employee or something like that, right? Those are financial. So it can get a little, some of them can be sound a little confusing until you kind of get it down. Customer defection rate. So that's pretty clearly a customer item, right? That's about how happy the customer is with us. right? Okay. Average fuel cost per dollar of sales, right? So this is a cost and it's based on how much sales there are. So that's, I think, pretty clearly a financial metric. Average number of workplace accidents per employee. So employee related things that are not like sales per employee or something like that. That's a learning and growth. You're trying to help them learn and grow and not have accidents. Delivery cycle time. So that's what they call an internal business process, right? And those are kind of the steps that are used to perform the tasks. So how fast you do them, things like that. You know, not the sales relating from them, but you know, something like a cycle time exactly would be like how fast you do something, how well you do something in other defect-free units, things like that. That's related to our business processes. Training hours per employee. So that's if it's related to employees and how they do something that's like about learning, about growth, about doing better with employees, that's learning and growth. Number of applicants from underrepresented groups. So that's about employees, learning and growth. Percent of customers that strongly agree with the statement, your employees treated me correctly. So that's how happy customers are. You know, are they coming back? Or do they quit coming? Things like that. So that's a customer. Return on assets, pretty clearly a financial measure. Percent of customers that agree strongly your company has superior commitment to product safety. So that's how much consumers like our product. So we're going to call that a consumer. Number of modular product designs. Okay, so that's our business processes, right? That's how we do things. Lost sales due to out of stock. So that's a process, right? The shipping, the supplies, that's process. Pounds of waste, that's process. Number of customer referrals. Okay, well, that's pretty clearly customers. Residual income, that is financial. Mentorship, so that's an employee thing, so we're going to call that learning and growth. All right, so I think the only items that it's kind of easy to get confused with is that a financial or is that something else? Because sometimes they'll put it in terms of financial measure, right? And so it can seem a little confusing. But if we're straight up measuring finances, right, it's kind of about what we're measuring. Are we measuring the process? Are we measuring the financial metric? Right? Are we measuring the financial metric, how much they bought, or are we measuring how happy they are, right? It's kind of like think about what they're measuring, and that should help you put it in a category. All right, so we'll stop there and come back for the next one in the next video.